My wife wants to raise our son as her dead brother. When I told her absolutely not, she said I was stealing a miracle from her. Her brother Danny died at 19, 11 years before I met her. She keeps a photo of him in her wallet and one on the hallway wall, and I've never had a problem with either. Our son Ellis was born 3 years ago on Danny's birthday. I made a dumb joke in the hospital about the family calendar getting easier. She didn't laugh. She looked at Ellis a long time and said, "He came back." I thought it was the morphine. It started small. She bought Ellis a corduroy jacket that matched a picture of Danny at 4. Then she pulled Danny's old trumpet out of her mother's attic and put it on a shelf in the nursery. Sentimental, she said. Then she started signing him up for things. Swim team, because Danny swam. She talked about holding him back a year so he'd be oldest in his class, like Danny was. I chalked it up to grief. Her father died in February, and she'd been fragile since. Last Wednesday, I got off a job site early and came in the side door. She was on the playroom floor with Ellis in that soft, sing-song voice, and she wasn't using his name. She was saying, "Who's my Danny?" And Ellis said, "I, Ellis." And she took his face in both hands gently and said, "No, baby, you're Danny. You came back to me." She made him say it 4 times. I counted. Then she looked up and saw me and smiled like I'd walked in on her folding laundry. She said the soul remembers, and he'd get there. That night after she went to sleep, I opened her laptop. Her order history went back to my son's 2nd birthday. Replica clothes matched to photographs. A canvas print of Danny at 6 with Ellis's face blended into it. A silver ID bracelet engraved Daniel with Danny's birth year on it, not Ellis's. And a downloaded petition for a legal name change. Filled out, unsigned. I woke her and said we needed to see somebody. A grief counselor, a doctor, anyone. She cried and said I didn't understand. That she'd prayed 11 years. That God had answered her and I was the only one standing in the way. Her mother called me at 7 the next morning. She said my wife had explained everything and I needed to be more supportive. When I tried to describe what I'd walked in on, she cut me off and said, "Ellis is a happy little boy, that plenty of families name children after someone, and that I was being cruel to a woman who lost her brother." That's when it landed on me. Every one of them knew. Her sister, her mother, her aunt. We'd moved back to her hometown 8 months ago so she'd have support. My people are 5 hours away. Friday I found her at the kitchen table with preschool forms. Child's name, Daniel. Preferred name, Danny. Under other names the child may respond to, she'd written Ellis. I put my hand flat on the paper and told her this was over. She stood up and everything about her changed. The crying stopped like a faucet. Her voice went level and almost pleasant. She said she'd already spoken to an attorney. The courts here favor mothers, especially when the father is on job sites 60 hours a week and the mother has her whole family in town. I asked if she was threatening me. She said she was explaining how it would go. I could support my family, or I could be a man who sees his son every other weekend and mails a check. I looked at Ellis pushing a truck across the floor, completely unaware. I said I needed air and went out to my truck. I didn't go back in. I drove 5 hours to my sister's and told her everything before I got my boots off. My sister has been a licensed child and family therapist for 16 years. She didn't let me finish. She said document everything, get a lawyer Monday, and that what I was describing has a name, and it does real damage to a child. We drove back the next morning. I picked up Ellis and his things while my wife was at her mother's, and texted her that he'd be with my sister for now and we'd handle the rest through attorneys. She sent back one line, "He'll grow up without a father, and it'll be because of you." Her family hasn't stopped calling. Her sister says I'm controlling. Her mother sent me a verse about honoring your wife. I'm in a family law waiting room right now trying to figure out how to say this out loud to a stranger in a suit. My wife is teaching our 3-year-old that he's someone else. That's the sentence. That's my life.